Hey guys, what's happening? This is Bill from KeystoneWeapon.com, and this is just an update, and I wanted to go give a couple shout outs on this and just kind of talk about some this is kind of just random stuff, but I had the pleasure this weekend of going out to JJ Racaza's personal training area there, where he's got some land and a backstop and a lot of targets and things like that. And I had the ability to finally align my schedule with his and join in one of the training classes, and it was really awesome because the 2 days that I was there in New Jersey, it's down near the Atlantic City area there. The 2 days that I was there, it was only me and another guy. The first day it was me and another guy named Brian, and the second it was me and another guy named Sonny, which was really awesome because it was a lot of one-on-one, a lot of really just a lot of just personalized, working with my particular shooting style and just making it better. And it was honestly probably one of the best investments. It absolutely was the best investment I've ever made in shooting. I mean, I could, with the money that I spent, I probably could have went out and maybe bought a gun or something like that. You guys know that I like to collect things or tools or something I needed, but honestly, learning how to run what I have was a better investment. So it was worth every penny of the all the traveling I did and everything like that, and I highly recommend it. So if you're ever interested in doing something like that, check out jjracaza.com. He's got his information, I think, in there, or his Instagram account. You'll see that his wife is the one, Jessica, who handles all the coordination and everything like that. So it's really awesome. I also wanted to talk a little bit about equipment and stuff like that, and just kind of let you know, I shot this, the TCM. Well, I'm sorry, it's not a TCM. It says TCM on the side, and that threw me off. This is my 9mm single stack Rock Island, 1911, and this gun ran awesome. So I did bring two backup guns with me. I brought a double stack gun, which scared the hell out of me going into New Jersey. But if you take your magazines completely apart, just pull the base pad springs and follower and everything, you'll be fine with traveling with them. Also, I had all my stuff locked in different locations in my cars. It was terrifying, but everything was fine. I shot the single stack, which was awesome. It also kind of sucked because I had to keep constantly loading magazines. These metal form 10 rounders, freaking awesome. I love these for this particular gun. I'm going to go out and get a whole bunch of them. I only had one issue, and that was my this one metal form magazine. This is a 9-rounder. Every now and then would throw a round straight up for me. So I know this is a 38 Super, but same kind of thing. It would actually throw a round straight up, and I'd see it sticking up out of the top of my gun. So I have to work on the feed lips of this one just a little bit, but I narrowed it down to a magazine issue, and that was no big deal. Other than that, this gun performed flawlessly, and this particular pistol probably has over 25,000 rounds to it. You can see it's pretty filthy right now. Everything looks all burned up, and my muzzle's all crappy, and inside it looks awful. So I do need to clean this thing and take it apart. I did it the first night when after shooting about 600 or 700 rounds, and then yeah, you can see it's really bad in there. I don't even know how many rounds I shot. I took an entire full 50 cal ammo can, and I only came back with just a couple on the bottom. I mean, you can see this is heavy. This is like a lot of the brass that I brought home with me, which is like, I mean, this is a serious amount. So I shot almost a full ammo can in a weekend, and under JJ's instruction, I mean, I really felt pretty good. So I would highly recommend one of those courses. He does do them in Pennsylvania. He does them in New Jersey. I think next year he said that he's going to be moving out to the West Coast, something like Texas, Nevada, something like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind going out and taking another one maybe next year to follow up on some of the skills and different things he taught me. I mean, this is going to be terrible because I'm showing you this over my phone through the camera or whatever. But like, for instance, we did a ton of stuff with drills and things like that. Just tons of trigger work, and it really helped. Moving out to different yardages, shooting things that were way out of my comfort zone, and just proving that the gun is just a tool. I mean, you could pick up any gun and put these principles to work, and it's awesome. But here's an example of like one of the drills we ran. And that's shooting with like zebra targets, and we had body armor targets, and that was a boom boom, far out 25-30 yard shot, back to 7 yards, reload, 2-2-2. You know, I mean, it was getting complicated. My brain was hurting by the end of the day, but it was really cool because he only takes like 5 to 6 people per class, so there was a lot of really really in like specific to you. It wasn't like a big lecture and everything like that, but he doesn't count anything that's not an alpha. So if you're not hitting the alpha zone, like, back to the drawing board. You know, it's like it was a great experience because it really taught me to pay attention to what my gun was doing. With that, I want to throw a big shout out to Arnel Bernardo of Rock Island, because he's the one who built the bottom end for me for this one. You can see that mine is all like, there's like nothing left on this. I blew this, I use like Oxfo blue or something from Brownells, and I blew this gun like 6 times a year because, like I've said before, I sweat like a hooker in church. And in New Jersey it was no different, plus there was salt and sand and all kinds of other shit all over the place. But Arnel was the one who blended this frame and everything for me so I could get right into it without pinching myself. He did the trigger work on it. I'm not going to fire it here, but he's the one who did the trigger work on it, and that was a huge focus of this class and my weekend, was getting that trigger back to where it manually you have control over it, back to the taking the mechanical slack out of it, and then when your sights are on target, depressing that trigger and feeling that disconnector and being able to just kind of picture what's going on inside this pistol. And he's the one who did the trigger work on this one. I usually do my own trigger work, but this one is awesome, so I've never messed with it. But he did a fantastic job with this. Like I said, this gun, this barrel right here has seen like 25,000 rounds probably. Oh man, it smells terrible, like gunpowder and lead and all kinds of other, that's probably not good, huh? But I just wanted to give a big shout out to Arnel because he's the one who hooked me up with being able to buy one of these TCM slides, which I like because it's flat topped. I have my LPA sights in the rear, it gives me a nice long picture. It's also a little bit lighter than your typical slide. This barrel was originally in just a regular Rock Island tactical slide, but he's the one who did all my bottom end work. So this gun ran awesome. There was even, I mean, it outperformed. I mean, it always outperforms me, but being able to see that you can take a $500-600 1911 and just punch out a 4-leaf clover, and then somebody else can bring in like a open gun STI or something and do the same thing. It's amazing to see a $2,500 difference out of this gun and knowing that it's the shooter behind it. But this gun is completely capable of doing, you know, the job. Now, obviously, there's other things like magazine capacity and, you know, optics and all kinds of stuff like that. But as far as like a regular everyday man's gun, these things are awesome. So, you know, any failure was either related to, like I said, I did have a magazine issue, but that's okay. Once I took this one out of the rotation, I didn't have a single problem. Anytime this gun didn't go bang was my fault. It was not allowing it to mechanically reset. I was so focused on the trigger that sometimes I screwed up. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Arnel. I wanted to let you guys know that there is a lot of different, you know, people that do training and encourage you to go out and you know, find somebody who does pistol training, because, you know, it's expensive usually. You might have to travel. There's all kinds of time involved in it and things like that. But I'm telling you, it's worth it because you're going to take your $500-600 1911 and be able to seriously kick some ass with it. So I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who was there and made that possible. It was really great meeting the other shooters and shooting with them. And that's pretty much all I have to say. So keep it classy, guys. Take her easy.